Hello, my darling. And of course, hero. What activities do we have lined up for the day?
I thought we could take a platonic walk to the gardens.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It does, I swear. But wouldn't it be nicer to go on a nice horseback ride through the meadows?
Unfortunately, all of our saddles are currently at the leathersmith.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Oh, that's no problem. I'm sure Lady Cherry wouldn't mind riding bareback.
Oh, could we, hero?
I do believe that the horses are due for their anti-parasite baths.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
How inconvenient.
Well, the good news is I do have a story to share.
Oh, yes, a story,
A
please.
story?
Whatever the lady wants. It's a tale of 3 enchanting sisters that go to the Regal Mystery Moving Pictures on December 1st, 2025.
Wait. Enchanting? Is that code word for pig-faced?
What?
Well, in my experience, I have found that the word enchanting is used to describe women who are otherwise less desirable.
Oh, that is a valid question.
Fine. It is a tale of 3 beautifully enchanting sisters who go to the Regal Mystery Moving Pictures on December 1st, 2025. And the film they saw that evening was 100 Nights of Hero.
Boring.
Based on a 2016 graphic novel, when a charming houseguest arrives at a remote castle, the delicate dynamic between a neglectful husband, his innocent bride Cherry, and a devoted maid Hero is thrown into chaos.
Rated PG-13. 100 Nights of Hero is a weird title for a movie, but after watching the film, it fits. The movie opens with a narrator telling us how the universe that we're about to watch came to be. We see a god named Kiddo creating her own world. Her father, Birdman, played by Richard E. Grant, finds it boring and pointless. So he interferes and spreads his own influence. The result is the creation of a patriarchal religious society that worships him and anything bird-related. As is the case with most religions like this, women are allocated as property, whose sole purpose is to create heirs. They are forbidden to read and write. Doing so is considered witchcraft that is punishable by death. While all of this may seem strange, it reminds me of a place that I know, called Earth. The movie then introduces us to our not-so-happy married couple, Jerome and Cherry. Despite being married for a year, no children have been created. As you see in the trailer, that is because Jerome hasn't attempted to consummate the marriage. Jerome, played by Amir El Masri, is kind of boring. For some reason, he's not interested in his beautiful wife. I thought he was going to be more interested in his male assistant, but the movie never explicitly says that. Enter Manfred, a down-on-his-luck bachelor played by Nicholas Galazine. Manfred is offered a wager by Jerome, who is desperate to get out of his marriage. If he can seduce Cherry in 100 days, then he gets the castle and everything in it. If he can't, he gets nothing. Either way, Cherry will be declared either unfaithful or infertile and put to death. You know, boys will be boys. Manfred is a muscular pretty boy who's used to getting what he wants. Nicholas brings this annoying smarminess to the character that'll have you rooting against him. Cherry is played by the highly talented Micah Monroe. I personally know her as the lead in horror films like It Follows and Longlegs. Cherry is desperate for romantic actions. She is ready to produce an heir for Jerome. I think Micah did a good job at bringing this character to life. She plays the pining Cherry with a wistful sadness. While she finds Manfred gorgeous and tempting, she is still committed to her husband Jerome. To help with this temptation is Hero, Cherry's maid, played by Emma Corrin. Hero is aware of the danger that Manfred presents. She uses her storytelling abilities to distract and entrance him so he loses track of time. Emma also does well with this role. She plays up her character's strength while maintaining the expected subservience of a maid. The rest of the film follows the 100 days of Manfred trying to seduce Cherry and Hero trying to stop it. The first thing I noticed about 100 Nights of Hero are the odd visuals. As you can see from the trailer, it's a highly stylized film, but not in a grandiose way. What I mean is that there's great scenery. There's a castle, there's gardens, there's things that you would expect from a fantasy film. But I immediately found the castle interior to be a cluttered mess. It looked like the director told everyone working on the film to bring in 3 random objects from their house to be put onto the set. It cheapened the grandeur a bit. There was a general fantasy vibe, but a lot of things felt out of place. It was jarring at first, but it faded into the background as the film went on. Mainly because of the interesting cinematography and lighting. There were so many well-crafted shots that kept me interested. The use of lighting enhanced a lot of the scenes. For example, characters would walk down a hallway with stained glass windows, and the colors of light would wash over them, accenting the emotions of the scene. It was really well done. However, there was some weird lighting as well. Throughout the film, every single candle had a lens flare effect on it. If you're not sure what that is, it's basically how streetlights look for somebody with an astigmatism. It's an artist's liberty that's often used to show things like the unforgiving blaze of the sun or the glare of futuristic technology. It has its place in film, for sure, but this was every candle in every shot. There were a few moments where it enhanced the scene, but it was mostly just distracting for me, especially when candles were the only source of light in a scene. It was like there was a miniature sun in the scene with the characters. But maybe in this universe, candles just do that? I don't know. The same goes for the outfits, and I'm not saying I didn't like the outfits, they are very interesting. Cherry's in particular. While most of the cast stayed in the fantasy rich people wardrobe, Cherry looked like she just stepped out of a high fashion magazine. Her outfits had structure, very haute couture. I think they made her stand out from the rest. Perhaps this was done on purpose to show how she's different and prioritized more than other women. The pacing of the film felt a little out of whack. The main focus is on Cherry and Hero navigating their interactions with Manfred. However, every time Hero would tell a story, we would follow those characters instead. I did enjoy seeing these stories brought to life, though I wish we could have seen how these stories were affecting the main cast in the moment rather than when Hero stopped talking. The stories sometimes felt a little more interesting than the main plot. I think switching between the stories and the main cast reactions in the moments would have created a more unified pace. I will say that the score did try to unify these moments. It was a fun mix of orchestral swells and electronica. I think it fit the film very well. Finally, I want to talk about the main themes of the film, patriarchy and feminism. These themes are very plainly laid out for the viewer in the very beginning. As I mentioned earlier, when Birdman interfered with the world, he created this restrictive religion. Women are forbidden to read and write and are expected to be completely subservient to men. There isn't any subtlety with these themes, yet the movie isn't trying to beat you over the head with them either. The world is laid out for the viewer very matter-of-factly, but it should all be very familiar to us Earthlings. Organized religion has always been a beacon of patriarchy. Control is the goal. And when people step out of line, namely women, they are persecuted as impure and witches. 100 Nights of Hero doesn't muddle this at all. The main character's name is Cherry, which is a euphemism for virginity, signifying how women are supposed to be chaste for their husbands. The maid's name is Hero, because she helps break these oppressive systems. That's not a bad thing, but it feels more like a beginner's introduction to the cruelty of the world, rather than a deep and reflective film. In the end, 100 Nights of Hero wasn't very remarkable to me. I did enjoy the striking visuals and good acting, but the wonky pacing and the surface level themes left me feeling indifferent. It's not a bad film, it just didn't do much for me. Your mileage may vary. And that is why I am giving the Regal mystery movie 100 Nights of Hero the on-the-nose score of 5.5 out of 10. While it did keep my attention, it left no impression on me. I feel like it very much fits into the PG-13 romantic fantasy genre. So, did you catch the early screening of 100 Nights of Hero? Or are you planning on seeing it when it releases on December 5th? Either way, tell me what you think in the comments down below. And please remember to honor the 3 moons by liking the video and subscribing so I can continue to spread my wings in the world of genuine movie reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the stables.